Paresh.
Hello there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Today we have with us Paresh Parmar. Is a senior lecturer, head of international development and partnership from the School of Arts and Media at the University of Central Lancaster, UCLan, UK. If you're looking to study at a great university in the Northwest, the University of Central Lancashire is a great choice to start with and continue your studies in the UK. They're in the top 7 of the worldwide universities according to the Center for World University Ranking 2021-2022. So welcome, Paresh. It is a pleasure to have you amongst us to enlighten all our youth present here, parents, staff, as well as the aspirants who are looking forward to our partnership. And we would love to hear from you. So please start with your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for a lovely introduction there. So yes, as you hear, I am from the University of Central Lancashire. I'm going to go through a short and quick presentation around some of the things that we offer at the university and how we've aligned with Arch in terms of creating this partnership and just expanding on the creative industries and how fruitful this industry is actually. So I'm going to go through some of the pathways. I'm going to go through how we deliver. I'm going to talk about the EMA pathways and then what this creative industry is worth. And if we've got time, I've got some tips on portfolio creation right at the end if it's of any use. I'll begin. What we've got is first of all, you can see this young lady's painting the walls with white paint here. And we're doing a campaign at the moment called Creativity Matters. And at the end of this presentation, what happens is I put into context what the creative industry is worth in the UK, but the advert rolls out and I'll share the advert with you at a later date. But it's what would the world look like if we lived in a whitewash world? You know, if we didn't have color, if we didn't have creatives, if the table wasn't designed, if we didn't have wallpaper and everything was white, we'd live in a pretty bland world. So our input into this industry is really, really important. So that prefix is what we're going to go into. So first of all, I thought I'd start with a few basics, where we are, because a lot of people say, okay, Preston, where are we? So London, UK is big. It's not as big as India, but it is quite big. And this is where we're situated. So about 35 minutes from Liverpool and Manchester. And basically you can get a train to London in 2 hours, 45 minutes. So it's quite direct. It's a direct train. And the costs are roughly about this. And you can get to Belfast if you want to go across to Northern Ireland. The cost of living here is relatively low. We're 18% lower than Ireland. We're cheaper than a lot of places in the UK. 23% less expensive than anywhere in London. And the rent price is 71% lower than anywhere in London. The city itself is a huge area of investment. So they've had £100 billion of investment in the city deal. We're the fastest growing city for tech jobs. So the aspiration in going into new jobs is quite large. Now, you may hear tech, but tech also needs a servicing of transferable skills. So all those creative industries will go into tech in terms of promoting it, creating an interior space, designing the logos, developing the websites. So all of that is huge. And we're now the home of a $5 billion National Cyber Force HQ as well. And we're named the best city connected in the UK. So they're the highlights of why Preston. Our campus has been around for quite a long time, since the 1800s, really. So we're a very old university that turned into a new modern university. And we've recently spent £60 million on the new student centre that you see here. That's our innovation building that we spent £30 million on. And basically, we have campuses in Burnley, Westlake, Cyprus, Mauritius, and we have several international developments as well. So we have a campus out in China as well that look after just the creative industries alongside some of the others. Our student centres will facilitate everything you see here. So counselling, disability support, employability workshops, finance and funding. I'm not going to read everything there, but you get an idea of what we will provide support in. This is the largest civic outdoor space as well in the UK now. So this space that you see here, and that's not just a space for the sake of people walking around. What we plan to do is we plan to carry out performances, dance, acting performances. So we pitch great big marquees and tents there. And we do a lot of showcasing with the city. So we're bringing the city into the university, and the university integrates really well with the city. So there's a lot of civic relationship building going on at the University of Lancashire. At the moment, our articulation agreement is with fashion design, graphics, interior design and photography. So what we are looking at is looking at your Pearson's BTEC level 5 to integrate with our BA programs. And they're the 4 programs that we're going to focus on today. So why UCLan? Before I move on, this is our gallery workspace. So we've got 3 galleries at the university, and all the students are expected to participate in gallery work. We are looking to expand our galleries at the university, but this gives you an idea of the kind of work that can be exhibited, the people that will come in, and the interaction with the partners, industry, and our civic relationships within the city as well. That can open plenty of doors for students moving forward. So we're number 1 for teaching in the Northwest, we're number 1 for student experience, and the 2nd overall in the Northwest, and 2nd for graduate prospects. And this was according to the Times Good University Guide for 2022. The other thing to note is 23% of art graduates become self-employed during their career path, and 18% opt to run their own business. We're a big believer in that. The creative industries really enable people to solve problems, and that problem-solving ability can create and sustain brand new businesses. And I'll go on to a bit of that a little bit later. So what do we offer in 2D? We offer graphic design, illustration, interior design. What's worth stating is we've won over 200 D&AD student awards. These are like the Oscars in the design industry. Diana here is from our overseas campus in Hebei in China, and she came to join us like a lot of you guys get the option to do. So you would do your years at Arch, and then you'd come and join us in our final year. Diana was a student that joined us in the final year and walked away with a D&AD award, which is a very prestigious award. So we rank in the top 5 for winning these awards. We share accolades with Damien Ives, the chap that designed a lot of the Apple products. So it's quite a prestigious award in that sense. So our graphic design course has been running for nearly 50 years. I think next year is the mark of 50 years. And it's one of the most established and successful courses of its kind in that sense, because we've not just been running it for 50 years, but we are the oldest placement graphics course as well. So we offer international placement. So to kind of put that into context, we've got 50 years of running the course, 50 years of running placements, which means that we've established very good relationships with the industry. 1, to provide placement, 2, to bring in industry, and 3, to create more extended partnerships as well. So some of our alumni have gone on and set up their own companies and now are recruiting back from our university. We enter a number of different competitions as well to get you visibility, but some of the images here are here to showcase how we leverage creative thought process, and creativity is at the heart of what we're trying to deliver. So, you know, if we're doing a packaging project as simple as putting a beak and a set of eyes, we'll then promote bird seed feeding. This is an advert for The Independent that an alumni created that actually graduated from our university. And that was to use the power of reading to elevate thought process and feeding of the brain. And this is obviously to look at the strength of elastic bands depending on the thickness of the elastic itself. Everything we do is around problem solving whilst developing skills that are required in industry, and everything is taught in a friendly studio atmosphere as well. We work on providing great big exhibitions as well. So we're working towards our degree show that's going to take place this week. It kicks off on Thursday, so we've got 2 weeks of a degree show, and we do a physical degree show and an online degree show. So I'll share the link of that online show. So you can see some of the work the students do. You'll be able to look through their work, through their profile as well, and anything that's extended. So we do promote their social media links as well. But what you'll find is we can do work in print, digital, and we're very hands-on as well. So if we just look back at here, we're actually encouraging the students to make everything that they design. It's not superimposed. Yes, we can use the power of Photoshop, but sometimes when you get your hands onto materials and start developing things, you really get an idea for whether it feels right, whether it looks right, and whether it presents itself more accurately. So we're very much get the hands-on skills delivered and taught to the students. We have an interior design course, which an alumni member is going to join me at the Q&A session from. It's ranked 6th with 91% student satisfaction. We also run this course in China and Hebei, so there's the opportunity to exchange. Obviously, through the COVID period, that's been limited, but all of that will open up again. We have great facilities in making models and getting you to carry out the 3D renders. This student here that you see is standing behind our exhibition work, so all of this work will be exhibited as well. We've just recently done a live project with IKEA, and IKEA wanted us to design an interior space for the metaverse, and the students were given this competition. The student that won the competition was from the university and had to recreate that space in IKEA. So basically, they've recreated the entire studio that she's designed at IKEA. IKEA is now presenting that and they'll offer a work placement for a year as well. That's 10,000 people seeing your work in a public space every day. And that just shows, the kind of projects that they're working with and the kind of caliber that the student has exposure to. The careers, everyone's got a question around careers, especially parents. It's like, okay, you go into the creative industry, but what can you do? And these are just some of the type of jobs that you can go into. Now, the beauty about the creative industries is a lot of the skills are transferable. So even if you come out with interior design skills, what you could go into is a web developer, a product manager, or account manager. So you've got plenty of transferable skills that you can go into from the creative industries, which is something that isn't promoted widely enough and is something that we really want to actively promote and make sure everyone is totally aware of. Then we move into the fashion area. Fashion is quite a diverse subject area and can expand into lots of different areas. In your case, we're looking at fashion design, but I always use this image because I think it's a great example of how diverse fashion is. So what we've got here is we've got 3 shots styled by our styling students. All need great styling skills, hair and makeup skills, photography skills, but each outcome is completely different. And it's because of how diverse the product can be. So we can see by understanding your customer, shooting a product accurately, you can target your product to various markets. And I think this is a great example about understanding market needs, aligning what you're designing to those market needs and delivering it in a way that actually attracts their attention. Now in the UK, the Graduate Fashion Week is quite a prominent award ceremony, and that takes place next week actually, and we've already been shortlisted for 5 awards. We've opened this show for the past 5 years. The past 2 years haven't had a show, so we're doing an online fashion video, which we'll share with you as soon as that's complete. But we are ranked 2nd in the UK overall for delivering in the fashion subject area. So our fashion course is about pushing you to reach your true potential, really. And what we've done is we've created 3 pathways to do this. So we understand that fashion can go into 3 particular areas: commercial, the clothes that we all wear; conceptual, something like this, which then can inspire a greater collection. So it's not just done for the sake of pushing the boundaries, but it does then enable us to embed this into more commercial wear. And then enterprise, so starting a business off the back of it. And the university pre-COVID was voted the top UK university for entrepreneurs, and we had about 200 new business startups. So when you're thinking about your course and you think about problem solving, we are very much of encouraging and supporting this new business startup as well. And we have a designated area at the university called Propeller that will help you develop a business case, make you understand where you can access grants, managing your account and expanding businesses as well. And we're actually thinking about starting this. They're starting an option for everyone to sign up, being able to start their own business as well, because we believe in self-employment so much from the creative industries. The course actually actively encourages students to work in a hands-on fashion. So we've got lots of facilities that enable you to interact with materials, embroidery machines, laser cutters, large format printers, very large printing material as well. So it's about encouraging you to create your own prints, create your own pattern, develop your own silhouettes, and the students will work towards doing catwalk shows as well. So if not one, you'll do a couple. We always do one in London, and then we do one in our home city, which is Preston. And then sometimes we get special commissions, and we have had special commissions in Hong Kong, Singapore, and India as well. And in those cases, in Beijing, what we do is we select students. So we create a competition. The students that win the competition will work with an institute overseas, and they get to partner in creating a collection and then putting on a fashion show there as well. So they get this full experience of 1, collaboration, 2, understanding cultural heritage, 3, working with an institute overseas, and then we'll get fashion promotion students to help with the events management, music students to create the music, and then take all the students out to that country to carry out that experience as well. Passion careers as well are plenty and abundant. The one that I've abbreviated at the bottom is SMM, social media marketing, which you're probably all aware of. It's just an abbreviation that we use here, but I'm sure you're fully aware of all of those elements there. Approximately 75% of the fashion promotion marketing students graduate, and 85% of them go on to find works within 6 months of finishing the course. So post-COVID, the abundance for requiring creative solutions is quite promising, and that the economy has bounced back quite high. So we're we're in a good place for the creative industries actually post-COVID. Photography, this is another example of another exhibition space that we have, and this is just another exhibition that has been held in this exhibition space. We actively promote or encourage our fine art and photography students to carry out exhibitions. It's just part of that practice that we really want them to really deliver and deliver on really. Our photography courses cover a wide range of subject areas. We are one of very few universities now in the Northwest that have dark rooms. So wet practice is very much encouraged at the university. Lots of universities offer you the digital practice, all the digital equipment. We will practice that, but we found what our USP is going back to the traditional, thinking back of how we use some of these traditional methods and really start honing in on creating exhibitions based on some of this traditional practice. There's lots of careers that you can go into off the back of photography as well. Live briefs, plenty of opportunities. These are just some of the brands, as you can see, or as you saw, graphic design has placement, fashion design has placement. We've had plenty of connections in the industry. All of these people come into the university and they either set a live brief, they either offer placement, or they collaborate in some way, shape or form. We have now introduced a form of mentoring from JD Sports, which is one of the largest sports leisure wear companies based in the UK and possibly extending out to Europe now. So what they do is they come in for once a month, and anyone that's a little bit hesitant about their career path, they will speak to them about their career path and have and share some intel with us. JD Sports also give us an exclusive insight into some of their projects. via one of their sub-brands called Size. So we have an exclusive relationship with partnering on some of their projects as well. And that's just some of the things that we can help with the live placements and live briefs. We're all about promoting the student. So wherever we can, enter them into competitions, get them some press and publicity, get them some column inches in the news, social media, get them winning awards, and do some trips as well, so get them abroad. Our teaching and learning uses a very open workshop style. So this is an example of the graphics room. This is a one-week project around using fonts and experimenting with them. So here what we've got is an example of students working with the fonts, creating faces, penning it up on the wall. And what you get is you get peer-on-peer assessment, you get staff feedback, and we can bring in industry for those sessions and get industry feedback as well. So it works very much like an agency model, and you get familiar with working with others and getting feedback from a wide source of input as well. At the moment, these are the admission requirements for portfolio and audition-based courses. I think I'll share this PowerPoint with you so you'll be able to read that in more detail. But you can see that we just need higher English requirements for the postgraduate study over the undergraduate study. Now, when we move on to the MAs, these are available full-time or part-time, and some are available with placement as well. So you would do the placement after the masters. We've got 6 core practices, reflective practice. So everyone's got to have a proposal. So when you go into your postgraduate study, you start off with a proposal. This is what I plan to do, and you reflect on that practice. So that gives you that chance to play around your proposal, generate a personal project, see if that discipline is appropriate. Then you experiment with practice through a series of self-initiated projects. You set yourself the limit, you see those through. Obviously, you are tutored, you get peer-on-peer review, you get staff review, but you're encouraged to experiment with your ideas. Then we go into specialized practice, so develop links with industry, bring those guys in and give them and let them have an opinion on your work, and you have an opinion on where you would want to be with industry. So you're sharing your subject area with someone that's a professional in that area. Then the professional practice, where you have to produce a cohesive body of design work to a professional standard. This is going to be backed up by research methodology, as always in postgraduate degrees. And then obviously that's got to be backed up with some context and research as well. So they're the main 6 areas that we would touch upon over this time. I know we are now moving into the 30-minute space. I've spoken for quite a long time now. Do you want me to expand and carry on with the creative sector and its worth, or do you want me to pause for a Q&A?
I think that would be a great idea. To give them a whole picture of how their career would progress into what sectors. Surely.
No problem. I think this is quite an important area. So like I said earlier, at the start of this, we started a campaign to make people more aware of the creative sector and its worth. And these figures are just based on the UK figures, just to give you an idea. I personally don't think India and Asia are very far behind this. But the creative industry in 2019, and these are the figures post-COVID, sorry, not post-COVID, pre-COVID, was £115.9 billion. Big figure, and I'll put that into context in a moment, but there are 12 main subsectors within these industries. So we're looking at advertising and marketing, architecture, museum and gallery work. Games design actually takes up about 30% of this, and it's the fastest growing at this moment in time. IT, software, publishing, music and performance, animation, film, radio, TV, photography, heritage conservation, which is growing at quite a rapid rate, crafts, design, product, fashion and graphics. What we've got to note is 75% of this makes up the jobs in the UK. And what's quite important to note is that the creative industries can't be replaced by artificial intelligence, not at this moment anyway. So it's quite a required skill. Post-COVID, these figures are starting to expand as well. So to give you some context, In the UK, we've got automotive, life science, oil and gas, and aerospace. And this is their worth in 2019. The creative industries is worth more than all of those put together. So what we used to do was we used to create £13 million an hour, £316 million every day, and we used to export 27 billion a year. Our growth was 7.4. Now, COVID has seen a 30% drop in this, but the bounce back has been really, really good. So post-COVID, we are waiting for the figures from the Creative Industries Federation. The source is here, so you can look at that source. And at this moment in time, we've not got any figures back, but the predicted growth is quite prominent in this area. And I just thought I'd share that because I think if your parents are anything like mine, you may notice that I am a person of color. I am not English. I'm Indian of race. My parents were dead against me doing this. So the creative industries, you know, lawyer, doctor, or failure is what I was told. And I chose the creative industries. I chose fashion promotion. And actually, I've done quite well. So, you know, the industry has favored me quite well. I think there's great potential in this area as well. The last thing I was going to touch upon is how transferable these skills are. And, you know, all the students gain great presentation and communication skills. I believe that they have vision and creativity, and it's not the same as vision and creativity from one of the business areas. I think we push beyond it with the creative industries. We're very persistent people. So if something doesn't work, we carry on. We know how to prioritize as well. So I know any designer will design a number of different outcomes, but we know which one we want to lead with. So we have the ability to prioritize. We're great at flexibility and problem solving, great attention to detail. I believe we have a growth mindset. We always have the ability to look beyond what we deliver, and we have to have the skills to work in a team and an organization. So I think these are transferable skills that people don't realize that they end up gaining. And I think we harness those better in the creative industries than other industries. And I'm going to leave it there at this moment in time. I've got lots more to share if you want me to share it, but I see that I'm already above and beyond time. We've got one of our students that's joined us for the Q&A session, and I'd be quite keen to jump into that Q&A session because I'd like to hear your point of view, if that's okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Paresh. That was lovely. I think getting to know that you come from an Indian background also brings in a lot of context as to you know, their comfort into asking questions, you know, because we have so many prospective students with us who are exploring fields like fashion and graphics and interiors as well as photography. I've seen that a lot of students move into that area as well, and it was very insightful to know how UCLan is creating collaborations and how they're giving students a platform, and there are so many opportunities available once they progress. So in this strategic partnership with Pearson, you know, it allows us to collaborate with UCLan in BTech level 5 qualifications in art and design, and the BTech level 5 HND qualifications are embedded in the first 2 years of our courses and includes a foundation. So after the completion of that level, they move on to the third year directly for their graduation year on a BA course with you abroad for a top-up level 6 in just 1 year. And since you have collaboration all across the globe, like you said, in Cyprus, Mauritius, and numerous international partnerships, I think that opens up the globe to the students here. And I would love the students to use the comment section and pop in some questions. So we've got 2 questions. One is that how is it priced and is it recognized all over? So yes, it is. It is recognized all over. So it's a global. The British degree is recognized all over. The pricing is, we have a special arrangement with Arch, and Arch will be able to give you that pricing fee.
So it's going to be discounted from the rate that you see on our website, but Arch will be able to communicate that. And because of our partnership, you will get it at a slightly lower fee than what everyone else will pay.
Right. Also, you were talking about the sandwich within the. So this question's from me. I mean, I think I got quite curious when you were talking about these minor subjects within the fashion stream, and I think it brings in a lot of value. Are these sandwich courses available on the other programs as well, like graphics and interiors?
Yeah. So the ability to start a business is available everywhere. So that commercial practice, if you want to integrate that, that's available. Sandwich and placement is only available on graphics and fashion design. Okay. However, if your visa enabled you to do more work, we could provide you live projects, so you could gain that industrial experience through doing live projects as well. So what we have at the university is something called the Creative Innovation Zone, and for anyone that wants to create a live project, we bring businesses in with a problem, and then we solve those with the students. So there's extracurricular activity that you can lend yourself to. You can add that to your CV, and you can place it onto your LinkedIn as well.
So let's have a look at the questions. I think, the fact that you promote hands-on working and the industry connect really brings forth the Indian context for Indian students, because they love to work with their hands as well. And the creative,
that skill base is lost really.
Right. So I have another question. In graphic design course, are all aspects of graphic design like game design, illustration, filmmaking, video making included in that year? So if you'd like to take that.
So how can we expand on that? So graphic design is an answer to a commercial question, and what we're doing is we're working towards a commercial response. And what graphic design does is it enables you to enter or create a portfolio in a response to lots of competitions. So we may get a brief from, say, Ted Baker, and the Ted Baker may say, we want to go into gamification. Can you think of a graphic response to gamification? Or we would like an animation in something, or we'd want an illustrative outcome. The students get the option to select the brief that they want to undertake. So if they have specific skills that they really want to touch upon or build upon or create a portfolio around that, they have that flexibility to do that by answering to these live commercial briefs. Where you need specialist skills, we have courses in games design, illustration, filmmaking, and animation, and there's nothing stopping you from speaking to those students, gaining that expertise and that knowledge if need be.
Yeah, I guess the way HND level 6 is designed is that it allows that flexibility to the aspirant, to take whichever sector within the specialization that they want to take. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So moving on, so we have a student who would like to know more about the sandwich courses in the graphic design program.
So the sandwich courses, so say if we was going to do the undergraduate sandwich course, you've got to complete a minimum of 36 weeks. If we was doing, sorry, I've got the gardeners outside just creating a bit of a noise, so I'll just wait for them to pass. Brilliant. So undergrad is 36 weeks, postgrad is 24 weeks placement. Now, the 36 weeks can be made up with a conjunction of lots of different placements. So we could do 4 weeks at one, 2 months at another. It has to equate to 36 weeks, or you could do a full 36 weeks. So how you create that 36 weeks is totally down to you. And I would always say, do a couple of months in one, couple of months in another, especially if you're unsure of which pathway you want to take, and then you get that experience of lots of different areas. I see that there's a question that says, is there a scope for placements for interiors? There is. So what we also do in the second semester, we do something called Conference Week, and we bring in guest speakers and owners of companies, and those guest speakers, what they do is they share industry practice, insight into their area, And then they'll leave the door open for anybody that is interested in carrying out some work experience or some placement. And that then further increases the opportunity to carry out some more professional work.
So great. So we have one more question, I think. To what extent is the university going to help the students in the admission process? I think that is something that we'll let them know. So they can contact the international department here at Arch and we'll facilitate you that. How UCLan helps is that it's based on your portfolio and the work that you submitted. And I guess that is what is expected. Would you like to share, Paresh, what is like a basic expectation from the students when they come?
Yeah, so there are three main components. There's research, creativity, and originality that we're looking for in a body of work. Now, what we've got to remember is every idea needs to be backed up with something, and it needs to be backed up with reason. So research is an essential tool, and what you'll find is within all the briefs, a good percentage of the final mark is designated to research. So where did the idea start from? How did it develop? And where does it come about towards the end? And where's that creativity and originality that's placed into it? If we don't have research and we don't have a story, it's very difficult to market the product. So what we've got to remember is within all three subject areas, they are very commercial. Now, photography is very different to graphics, fashion, and interiors because an outcome of graphics, fashion, and interiors can be marketed, and the marketing can lean on the story that's started from the research, whereas photography can be, but it could be own practice as well. So it's a little bit like fine art. Someone may want to just carry out the practice of photography. That's why photography is different. But yeah, research, creativity, originality, presentation skills are quite important as well, and the way that it presents itself is quite key.
Quite insightful. So we have another question about accommodations. So does UCLan provide campus accommodation?
We do, and I actually had a slide for that. I'll just quickly come on to that. And I've just got one slide, so I'll just share this screen on it. And the university have their own standard of accommodation. We are considerably cheaper than other areas, and what you've got is you've got this economy standard, premium standard, and this ensuite. But you see that they start about £78 and it'll go up to about £110 a week, and it all depends on what you want from the accommodation itself. Now, saying that, that's the university accommodation. We have plenty of private accommodation, and the quality of private accommodation that's been built up around the area is extremely good as well. Competitive prices. So, you know, there's a vast choice around that. And if you want some more accommodation information, I can send you that. Can I also add that we have got a student from Arch that joined us at UCLan.
Yes.
And if anyone's got any student questions, Nupuri is happy to help with that if anyone's got any questions. I see that there's a question around motion capturing facility and animation. Yes, there is. So we've got the film capabilities. We've got 4K editing suites and production suites. They're so good that the BBC come in and use them as well, so that they are of industry standard. And I just want to add that animation has won the Royal Television Society Awards, I think 10 times in the last 12 years. So it's a highly decorated course in itself as well.
Great. Can we have, I think that pretty much answers all the questions that we have for today. And I think they would be excited to hear from Nupur. Nupur, are you there with us?
She was here a minute ago. I don't know where she is now.
Yeah, meanwhile, There's one more question that I left out. What is the entry requirement for the MA fashion course, and is IELTS a necessity?
IELTS is a necessity, yeah. So what we need is we need a good body of work, really. So your prerequisites have got to be passed. So your level 5 in BTEC has got to be complete, and then we are looking at the portfolio. So coming into fashion, we need to have evidence of you being able to research, create a theme, a mood board, all the illustrations, and at least create should I say, outfits,
Right.
and maybe a collection. Because what you're doing in the final year is you are creating a collection of about 6 to 8 pieces, and it will be very difficult to teach you the fabrication elements if you've not picked those up prior. But looking at your video, it looks like you've got all the fabrication techniques that are being taught to you at level 5 in BTEC in any case. Is there anything else? I'm just seeing if I can get hold of Nepal.
There's just one more left, which is the scholarship one. If there are scholarships available, if students
We don't currently have any scholarships, but again, access to the course will come at a discounted rate because of our partnership with Arch.
Right.
And it's an exclusive partnership, yeah.
Great. So I guess we'll wait for Nupur.
Yeah. I've just asked, I've just texted to see if she's available. I'll see if she is. So believe it or not, as we was going into this, Nupur was getting ready for an interview. So she had a telephone interview that she had to go into, and I think it was going to start at 12 o'clock. So she may have gone because of that.
I see. So do we have any more questions within the audience? Please feel free to ask.
How many people are thinking of coming to the UK to study?
We've got quite a few on the BA course in all the departments. Photography is something that we're still just opened up. So in the near future, definitely photography will also be on the cards with UCLan. But for now, we're looking at fashion, graphics, and interiors, all three of them. Quite a good strength in interiors. And I think the career prospects and the interest is quite high. So maybe after this call, we'll have a more solid number as to how many are actually going to be with you in the coming year. But definitely there are a few very, very interested candidates that I'm aware of. So
I was going to ask if the students are anything like me. Sometimes when you finish the call, you think of the questions. So if there are questions after the call, if you want to email me with those, I'm happy to respond as well.
Definitely. So we have our Director of International, Mr. Binoy Thumpunkal, with us, and he's been in communication with UCLan. And I would like to call him for his closing remarks and share his input about the Pearson BTEC program and our partnership with UCLan, and shed some light with all the youth present here. Thank you, Binoy, sir. Welcome. Please, over to you.
Hi, Paresh.
So your audio is a little low.
Oh, 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yes, a little ruffled, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been placing all the mics away from all the way. Okay, Paresh, good to meet you.
Likewise, yes. Thank
I've
you.
seen photographs of you. The only thing that we resemble each other because of the bald heads, maybe. Okay, and Manan has conducted this very well. I think quite a lot of the questions, everything has been answered, and whatever else is left, maybe I'll get back in touch with you about that. Because they're coming and asking me about English and this and that. I think you've cleared everything as far as we are concerned. I would be very interested in having product design sooner or later, maybe in the future, because that is something which is quite a kind of a subject which everybody wants to take on. And Preston and UCLan will definitely go further in that kind of thing. What do you think?
Definitely. So what we're doing is we're looking at our product design course at the moment, and we're looking at remodeling it to have more business engagement. And it's not just for the creative subject areas, but we're looking at expanding product design into engineering, all the medical facilities as well. So it's about understanding the needs of the industry right now. And what we don't want to be, we don't want to be a product design course for the sake of being a product design course. We're trying to understand the demands of the industry before we format that course, so it's more appropriate. But I think it's something that we will look upon.
Yeah.
I see that Nupur is here, so if there's, if you want to hear from her now, that might be helpful.
Manan.
Hi there, Nupur. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you. How have you been? Everybody is eager. Your juniors are here, waiting for hearing your experience to share. Lovely to see you.
I would love to. Thank you so much. So you too.
So Nupur, how is your journey been, and how's it going at UCLan?
It's pretty good so far, and I've really enjoyed. And this almost end. It's just a month left for my convocation. So it's been really great for so long. It's a great experience coming all the way here, meeting new people. And I thought at the beginning it would be quite difficult for me to cope up in the third year, but everyone here has been so helpful and everything was been great. And it's not that difficult actually, that how much I thought it would be. So it was great.
I was going to say, I think that's sometimes the worry, isn't it, for international students? How well will they integrate? Is it easy? And how well do you feel you integrated?
I don't think so. I've been through any difficulties for till now, because they're not even the faculty, that everyone here has been so helpful. Like if you got any problem, you can just go to library, or they're everyone to help you at the end of the day. So it's been like quite an easy journey. Not easy, I would say, but not you'll feel like, oh, you'll be so stressed about, you have to be stressed about anything. So it's been great so far.
I think the journey needs to be challenging for you to grow and to learn. So that's good.
It is.
But I think what's key here is that you've got the support all the way through that challenge.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
The other thing I was going to mention is, because you're in your final year, you're creating your exhibition, are you not, right now?
Yeah, we're just planning for the, we are just sorting everything out for the exhibition. It's on the 16th June, and you can just watch online as well. We are providing a degree show. I think it started on 16 for online as well. So you can just, I think they already shared the link on the UCLan website for the degree show.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll share that link with you. What's interesting is Nupur and her students are also going to be going down to London, or are you going to be able to show your work in London as well?
Yeah, there's an exhibition in London as well. It's if there's someone in London, you can just always come and join us there for a week.
Nupur, I have a couple of things to ask you. First, please send us this link, okay?
Sure, I will do.
This is makes it easier. The second thing is, I want to know what you have as future plans.
For my future plan, of course, we got this opportunity to apply for the work visa after the study. So probably I'll be applying for the work visa, and there are ample of opportunities, of course, for the interior designing personally. So I'll be applying for the jobs. It's not that easy, of course, it's a bit challenging, but since you got the post-work visa, you get ample of time to look for the jobs and for the interviews and everything. If you're a bit nervous about the interviews and everything, there's always the faculty, they can help you with the process for the jobs as well. Okay. If you're looking for jobs and you find any difficulty, you can just ask them, they'll probably help. I mean, I've asked few times, they'll just help you out with that.
Are you like Nupur, like Tanushri, are you intending to do a master's too?
No, I don't feel like doing master's. I feel confident enough to go to the industry, so I might not do masters now, or probably I'll do after a year or something. I take a break for a year, then I'll think about it, doing masters in design.
Yeah.
Particularly.
Yeah, okay. Paresh, has Tanushri finished her masters?
She'll be, I don't know if she's doing placement. So if she's not doing placement, she's got until August to finish. So she's in her final semester.
Okay, very good. So that means that she finishes it and then she gets into placement after that, is it?
If she's opted for that option, yes.
Okay.
So Nupur, what did you take on as your final project?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get you. Like what?
You're at the final stage of putting in an exhibition. So what is that you took as your final project?
So it's basically my honors project that I did for the last year. So I did. It was quite an interesting project because like you have to go and study up an abandoned building in UK. So we explored a lot of places. It was like a bit scary or something because all the abandoned places are scary here. So it was quite interesting, the project. You'll get a lot of site visits and everything. I converted my building into a music therapy center here. And you can just check out the link. You'll get all the details there. We uploaded all our work for the whole year. And one most important part for the interior designing last year that we did a project with IKEA Warrington here. We did a live project there. And it was a great opportunity because all our work was displayed at IKEA. So that is too uploaded on the link, so you can check there.
Okay, Nupur, listen, I have to repeat this. You need to make this a little simpler for us, okay? Send us the links.
Yeah, sure. Sure, I will do. I'll just do it for you right away. Yeah.
Great. All right. Great. I would like to thank Paresh and Nupur for their insights from across the globe, and Benoy sir for shedding light, and for UCLan and our international partners to make this possible. And yeah, so we look forward to yes, Paresh.
I've just seen one more question. Someone's asking the book, what's life in Preston like?
I think that was to Nupur. Yeah, what's life in Preston? Yeah.
Honestly, it's good for us to like if you are a student, it's a good life in Preston, of course, because it's quite a atmosphere here where most of the students live. Not a lot of social life, but if you want a social, you can get it. But it makes an environment where students live, so it's quite easy to get adjusted here. You'll find a lot of Indians as well here, so
London's not
you
far
don't have
away.
to. Not at all. It's just 2 hours from a train. It's easy to go anywhere. So.
And I've seen a lot of your photographs, by the way, Nupur.
Yeah, I love to travel.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's easy. Like if you want to travel to Manchester, it's just an hour away. London is 2 hours away. You can or of course explore in weekends and everything. So it's good for the part-time jobs if you're looking. And like as a student, it's pretty good life here.
Great.
That's it. Yeah, it's so good to see you all again.
Yeah, well, already done with a thank you note, but definitely I think everybody is looking forward to finally go there and get on with the application process and to start filling in the necessary.
There's one thing that I need to ask Paresh. Who is your representative in India?
It's a chap called Govind. I can send you his details after this.
Okay. And he is based in Delhi?
I think Mumbai.
Okay. So I would like that because, right now there are students who are looking at, getting onto the practical parts.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll forward that.
Great. So thank you so much, Paresh and UCLan for making this possible, and hope to hear from you soon. Have a great evening, guys. Looking forward.
Thank you for hosting. Lovely to meet you all.
Thanks a lot, Paresh. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you, Nupur.
Thank you, Nupur.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.